sometimes struggle to get up in the morning or wind down for bed at night? I used to find it so difficult. I woke up with no sense of positivity and brightness. I was void of motivation and spirit. This changed completely when I started waking up with a Lumi body clock. These incredible devices mimic the light and colour of a real sunrise and sunset, transforming the experience of waking up and going to sleep completely. Rather than being suddenly woken up with an alarm clock, the Lumi body clock will wake you up gradually with a natural sunrise. The Lumi body clock has been shown to improve the quality of sleep and awakening and to boost mood and productivity in clinical trials. You can personalise your sunrise and sunset from 15 to 90 minutes with their clinically tested unique natural light and more than 20 sleep and wake sounds. We all deserve to sleep well and to wake up feeling fresh. So if you're finding this a challenge and you want to try a new approach, go to lumi.com.
I'm fine. Where are you?
I'm in Austin, Texas at the moment.
Hot damn.
How about you? Whereabouts are you?
Well, your hair is longer now. Didn't you interview me before?
I did. We had a good interview during the lockdown.
Yeah, and your father, you were in your father's building there where you were doing it? Your father has a business or something? And
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see you must do a lot of interviews, so I'm glad that your laser sharp memory
No, I remember you. Of course I do.
Well, thanks very much for taking the time to do this again, John. I really appreciate it.
No, it's no problem at all.
How does it feel to be back on the road now? Because last time we spoke, we were obviously in the midst of COVID.
You know, it's funny because I was on the road for almost a month. We did like a dozen dates. And when I got back, I felt normal again. I haven't felt normal in 2 years. I felt normal. It was amazing. I felt like me. You know what I mean? I have to do what I do. I've done all this other stuff in these last 2 years. You know, this, that, and the other. But singing for people, the energy, the work, the travel, you know, everything. You're outside of yourself all the time. You're not thinking. When you're sitting around, you're thinking all this stuff, you know. You're in your... You get inward. Getting inward is a very bad mistake. You want to get out of yourself. And fortunately, I've been so fortunate to have this career and this music and my abilities and the performing and all the things I've crafted over all these years. And once again, I was doing this. It was just like, I became myself again. It was just really profound.
That is so good to hear, and I can really imagine that. And I mean, I'm definitely in favor of people being with people. Do you think that any of the kind of replacements, you know, there was some kind of talk during the lockdown era that like face-to-face concerts might end up being replaced by concerts in video games or concerts done virtually? I think
that is so depressing to even think about. I'm sure they're going to, I don't know. You know, well, I'll tell you one thing. Guys like me are dying out. I'm a road warrior. And Mick Jagger is a road warrior. And Keith Richards is a road warrior. And Dylan is a road warrior. We're not going to be here forever. Nobody understands this or appreciates it. And I could very easily see everything morphing into some bullshit electronic crap, you know, that people want to do, and they can have it in the bathroom and have it on the road and have it in the car or whatever, you know. I don't like that. But I saw Sinatra 9 times.
Wow.
With Basie, with all these people. And I was always amazed at hearing the sound in the room, you know, rather than on a record or anything else, because he was such a wonderful singer. And I would hear it, and he would change things and do this stuff and the other. I just don't think people want to give that up, you know, if they really love music. You know, actually hearing the artist in the room. But I'll tell you, I don't think that most of what I hear out there these girl acts and guy acts and rappers and everything. I can't imagine wanting to miss that all that much. I wouldn't miss rap music if I didn't hear it. I've heard it. You hear it once, you've heard everybody. You just hear one guy, you've heard everybody. And a lot of these big shows. I mean, that's why I kind of like Ed Sheeran and Taylor Swift, because Ed is got some sort of a serious personal contact with his audience and the music that he writes. And Taylor she's a character. I mean, she really has substance. She's got more than one dimension. And so she's funny and she's like sexy and she's a great dresser and she does all these things, and so she puts it all together. So I think she is somebody. But to me, that I want to hear if I want to hear music, I want to hear the Beach Boys. I want to hear all those songs, the harmonies and everything else in the group and everything. And I think that's going to go on for a long time because members of the family are taking over, and they're really good singers. I've seen the band. It's going to be a 60th anniversary for them. It's going to be tremendous because they're American, man, and they're major.
So
and
good.
The Beatles have been decimated by death. I mean, John Lennon's death just killed the Beatles.
Yeah, yeah, but in a way, the mythology was kept alive by that, because sometimes these reunion tours. I mean, I love going to see them,
Yeah.
because keeping music live is so important. One thing that I wanted to touch on actually about what you said about rap was that I recently attended a Kanye West concert, or at least I tried to, but I was sat down in the stands for 3 hours and he hadn't shown up yet. So I just thought, you know what, I'm going home. Do you think that standards of professionalism are
That's right.
these days? Like, I mean, even like Adele, who's a wonderful singer, cancelled a Caesar's Palace residency. I see all of this stuff at the moment where artists are cancelling and late and stuff. And I just wonder, because all the greats often, they give their audience everything.
Well, they're all very rich and very spoiled, and they don't really care about the audience, and they think the audience is supposed to kiss their ass, and that's exactly the opposite of how I feel. I feel honored to play for people. I know they're spending money and taking time out of their lives, and but I come from a different time, and going back to the Beach Boys, those guys work really, really hard, and they always put on a great show. So they're part of that whole thing. And so does Paul McCartney. When he goes on the road, he sings a lot of Beatles songs. It's kind of sad because he should be in the Beatles. That's what he should be in. He shouldn't be by himself in a way. He's been so successful and he's a terrific person and everything, but they should have found a way. Once John Lennon got shot, I mean, there was really no. It's like Keith and Mick. If either of those two guys go, it ain't going to be the same. And it's the same with Paul and John. Once he went, there was no way to ever revive any version of the Beatles that made any sense. So that's a terrible thing. What's that?
What do you think of the Eagles?
Yeah, I was around a lot of those guys before they became the Eagles. California rock and all that. I'm not going to say what I think because no. It's not bad. Yeah, I don't know enough really. I don't follow them. To me, like the Eagles are sort of in the same territory as Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and Poco and. Loggins and Messina, and you could even throw in some of those people like Joni Mitchell. They were all part of that California thing, and they were all basically at Woodstock, and all very musical. I like something that's harmonically more really rock and roll. You know what I mean? it's not ephemeral. The stuff I hear that are the Eagles is sort of like it's that high harmony thing, and I like gospel full harmony, and that's why I like the Beach Boys, and they were really the ones at the beginning of everything. Actually, the Kingston Trio were the beginning of that California summer sound, and the Beach Boys were on Capitol, and they wore striped shirts, and they began to move into that area, and then they developed this whole world of beach and car culture, which never was before. It never existed before them.
Yeah.
Nobody ever can say that. Nobody can say that. But
Same with
Brian
the
Wilson
Beatles.
and huh?
Same with the Beatles. It's difficult for people to get their head around now when we've got all this abundance of groups and artists and content and concerts. But like these people invented this stuff.
Yeah, I would definitely suggest seeing the Beach Boys
I've seen them.
more than once, because these are the most wonderful and beautiful songs ever written. They're rock and roll. It's like Brian Wilson said, the sweet with the beat. It's kind of what it is.
I saw their concert when they reunited in 2012, when Brian was back in the Beach Boys with Mike Love. And it was absolutely brilliant. I mean,
I was there. I saw it.
Were you?
Yeah. Oh damn! And boy,
yeah.
they came up to Maine, Bangor, Maine. I was backstage. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
I had to be there.
So because the Beach Boys, obviously it's a complicated history. Are you a fan of like the early rock and roll stuff? Are you also a fan of the like more weird stuff like Smile and I mean I know Brian Wilson released that
I
one.
like it all. There's
Like
parts of every bit of it. I like heroes and villains. I like all kinds of things. Oh no, I'm there for the whole trip. I really and there's all sorts of neat songs like "It's Okay" and funny little things they do that nobody knows about.
Unbelievable. That's a great.
Yeah, I'm crazy about those guys. I really am. They are a real American band. They really are an organic band. They're a family band. And yet they're always in court and fighting each other. That's great too. That's sort of the Hatfields and the McCoys. That's like the Everly Brothers. We're always fighting each other. The coal miners. This American, and that's how we are.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, they're
have
amazing.
a story, even though it's very sad in a way. I saw, you've mentioned a couple of times there what it means to be American, and I just saw a video of you singing American Boys on your TikTok.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be American to you?
Well, you got to be born here, for one thing. I don't know. It's to me, the idea of being American is very much under attack today. And this is a very left-wing, even communist, and at the risk of sounding like some sort of a reactionary, this is a communist tactic, to infiltrate every area of American life and make Americans doubt themselves, their church, their sports. So much of what we have now starts out as something good, like, maybe animal rights, which is certainly good. We've devastated the animal kingdom, and we have a lot to answer for that. But, no more circuses, no more rodeo, no more this. That's not all right, okay? So it starts to move in different directions. So I think, as far as I'm concerned, I call myself an unreconstructed 1950s man. I know how I was brought up. I know what I think. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I wish everybody well. I'm not going to try to change anybody's mind, but I know what I think. And, I think one of the big things that's changed is sportsmanship. Winning is everything. Winning is not everything. But as Billy Martin said, you have to be the coach of the Yankees and the Mets. You have to be a smart loser, and this is where I was brought up. What did I do wrong? Why did I lose? I'm going to figure out how to do that, and I'm going to come back and beat you tomorrow. But I'm not going to complain about the fact that you beat me because you did. And that's the difference. With Trump, and Trump was never a loser. There was always a reason why, he didn't lose. Well, he did. Okay. And you have to figure out the American that I knew would say, okay, I'm going to beat you next time,
Yeah. I don't get that, because also he's running again apparently next time. So why does he keep talking about last time? Just the mind boggles. And it means,
well, he made some very nasty remarks about people, especially John McCain, who was a war hero from Arizona, who I was lucky enough to meet one day. I mean, this guy spent 5 years in a prisoner of war camp and then came back and served the Republican Party. I didn't agree with a lot of what he said, but I admired him. And so he attacks this guy, and he lost Arizona, and that helped him lose the election. What a stupid thing to do. Why would you attack John McCain? I mean, of all people.
Yeah, yeah. It seems as well, because what you're alluding to, it's like a lot of people in America, and it's kind of becoming the same in the UK. People really struggle to get on with each other nowadays, and so the very idea of being American, the very idea of being British, is almost something that people feel a bit funny about now. People have no sense.
Well, I would say that people should change their minds, and this attack by Russia should make us realize that this isn't a board game. This isn't some kind of virtual reality. This is real reality. And we need to hold on to our identities. And we need to fight for our identities. And, we have in America some very left-wing socialist ideas, once again, going back to blaming the police for everything, and certainly they need to be blamed for some things, but we need the police. We need law. And anyway, this is undermining of everything all the time. We need to realize that and be British, be Scottish, be, American, and be proud of it. And I'm amazed at my country, the things that we contribute, the things we've invented. Everything, many things come from the United States. We are the leaders, and we are a big mess. Everything's a mess. We're going 5 different directions, and we've got, we can't seem to, it's not like Canada. Canada is a very stable, normal, everything is organized, everything is, but it's not America. And, I don't know of many things that they invent or do. I'm sure they do many things, but they contributed Neil Young and and a few other people, and Gordon Lightfoot. I like them very much. But we created banking, we created film, we created jazz, we created rock and roll, we took people to the moon, we created government in the way that we use it now. And we created the Bill of Rights, and it goes on and on and on. We fought, Hitler and defeated him. A man in a wheelchair defeated Hitler, and we didn't even have an army in 1938. And Roosevelt came from our ranks. That's America. This man who came, the man who couldn't walk around, and led us through the Depression and defeated Hitler, and we came out of World War II the most powerful country in the world. That's America.
Yeah.
Because it's free and open,
There's a lot to be proud of as an American. I mean, that's quite a list of things that you can, say.
It's a short list, very short.
Validity. I mean, inventing rock and roll. would be quite enough.
You said that you heard me sing that song. I'm glad you mentioned that because I'll sing you a little more of it just for fun.
That
Because
would
you're a
be
nice
great.
boy and you deserve it.
Thank you very much, Don.
American boy invented rock and roll, singing rhythm and blues with a hillbilly soul. They caused a sensation, they shook up the nation. American boy invented rock and roll. They say the fat man started it all, pounding that piano made the dominoes fall. Well, Chuck went to Memphis for long distance information, and Buddy took a sad plane to a secret destination. Yeah, American boy invented rock and roll, singing rhythm and blues with a hillbilly song. Man, they caused a sensation, shook up the nation. American boys invented rock and roll. American boys invented rock and roll.
Yeah, that was
That's
great.
half. That's only half of it.
I love that. Thank you so much, Don.
Well, you
You
deserve
seem
it.
like you're on fine form. What was it like playing live every night, as you have been recently, having taken 2 years off? Because I'm imagining you didn't spend your 2 years off sort of rehearsing every day in case you're allowed to get back out.
Oh no, I don't ever rehearse.
Really? Yeah.
I don't rehearse. I hardly play very much. I played a little bit before I started out, just to sort of sing and make sure I had some high notes and this and that, and then I just go out and I wing it, and it was fantastic. But I can't imagine I love Mick Jagger, and I can't imagine him being off away from singing for 2 years. He must have been going bananas. I mean, exercising and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I bet he's out there doing the best shows he ever did. He's so
Yeah, they're
happy to
going
be
on
out there.
tour. They're
Oh
going
yeah, I
on
bet
tour
he's.
in the UK.
Are they going on tour? Are they on tour now?
In the UK, they're coming because I missed them in the US. They went last year. It was so good when we started
They're going
going
to
out
be
again.
good, boy. They're going to, a younger drummer, and I don't care for the bass player too much. He doesn't
That
have
Daryl
that. Bill
Cohen.
Wyman. Bill Wyman had something that nobody has. And
Yeah.
the Stones were never the same to me after Bill Wyman was replaced, but they're still fantastic, and I mean, I can imagine how happy they are to be singing because they're a live band, like I'm a live man. I go out and we sing, we do what we do.
So
And
did you
it
not
was
have to rehearse at all, really, like with your band before getting out there? You just have the
no,
con-
I rehearse at the sound check.
Yeah.
I'll say, here's a song, let's try this song out, and see what we can do, and then we'll do a 2 or 3 sound checks, and I'll say I do it in the show. And then improve it as we go along. Now I don't do that.
How
I
often do
know.
you change the set? Do you keep the
What's
same
that?
set? Do you keep the same set every night?
Oh no. I do a different set every show I have for the last 50 years.
That's incredible. That is so difficult to do. It seems like because a lot of people just can't be bothered with that because that's stress.
Well, I was 20 years a soloist. I played all the major concert halls in the world for 20 years, and if you hear the album Solo, that's me at Albert Hall and whatever. And then I began to add musicians because after crying, I wanted to sing a little bit more dynamic
Yeah.
musical things. But I'm so happy with it because I have a great group, four guys, and I'll sit down and play guitar, and just maybe do five songs they never heard. And then we'll do something, and we'll work it out at the sound check. I'll say, well, I might do this and I might do that. So they're always ready, and then they know, 100 things that I do maybe, and so, they're ready. But people, as I say, I conquered all these halls by myself. So
20 years.
yeah, for 20 years, I was
And
always
did you never get lonely out there,
I did. I did get lonely, and that's the reason why I started working with other guys because, I said, okay, well, I did that. I've memorialized that, and I did it. And then I did a tour with an orchestra called Dominion. And Jeff Hanlon, my promoter in the UK, who was always thinking of wonderful things for me to do, he set this up, and we did 25 shows. And you can hear me on YouTube. I'm wearing a black shirt, and it's about 1980, so I'm a lot thinner and a lot younger 40 years ago. But I do. There's a real nice version of Dream Lover that you can see on YouTube. Dream Lover, where are you? With a love that's so, so true. And a hand that I can hold. Keep you near as I grow old. Because I want a girl to call my own. I want a dream lover, so I don't have to dream alone. What they do is the orchestra goes. The orchestra will do this. There's the strings and everything else. You should look that up. You'll see it on YouTube.
I will look that up. So I wanted to alert everybody as to where they can check you out because you're touring all over the world, aren't you?
I'll be going to the England and then Scandinavia, and then I'm really branching out all over the place, Spain and here, there, and everywhere. You can go on my website and you look around, and you'll find all the dates that are there. There's a lot of shows, and there'll be a lot of shows next year, and there'll be an Australian tour, and there'll be a tour in the Far East also.
That's awesome. Yeah, you do seem like a genuine road warrior, and it's something that I, for one, really respect because there's nothing like traveling, playing music, listening to music, and being face to face with real human beings. So, thank you for setting that example to people so that they can hopefully continue to do what you're doing.
Thank you for saying that. And we'll meet again, I'm sure. I remember you.